Since 2020, there has been a threefold increase in the migration of Indians to Canada.
मन देख के हंसे देख के खसे बलम मेरा वो जिठा मन देख के हंसे देख के खसे बलम मेरा वो जिठा.
And they are now approaching the 4 million mark. This is what Toronto looks like. Not a Canadian in sight.
Ma'am, why were you aggressive to me?
I'm being aggressive to you because too many Indians are in Canada, and I want you to go back.
What are the Canadians that have been here saying about the immigrants? I know they are upset. Guaranteed they're upset. And if they are upset, why aren't we hearing more from the white Canadians?
Canadians are struggling to find jobs all across Canada. As someone who has over 5 years experience in customer service, whether it's in fast food or being a sales associate, I myself cannot find a job.
That's a great way to get your attention. Well, if you're a Canadian and you've been here over 20 years, you realize that Canada has a serious immigration problem. So join us on Toronto Unfiltered as we dig into what's really going on in Canada. Well, this is little old Toronto, Canada. Population 6,400,000. Located north of Chicago, north of Detroit, north of Buffalo. In fact, we're called the Great White North.
Do it. He's in two. Okay, good day. Welcome to the Great White North. I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug.
But hold on. Is that title correct? The Great White North? Is Canada still white? I remember growing up as a little boy in Canada, they used to have a song they used to sing. If you're white, well, you're all right. If you're brown, stick around. But if you're black, stay back. Now it's changed to, if you're white, you're still all right. If you're brown, don't stick around. And if you're black, well, hey, still stay back.
They gotta work for a living now. This is what they will say to you. They say, if you was white, you'd be alright. If you was brown, stick around. But as you black, oh brother, get back, get back, get back.
Now for me, I'm not here to stir up any trouble. I'm just here as a reflection. A reflection to show you what has gone on and what is going on. And the sentiments that happened to the south of us with Jim Crow to the African Americans did have an impact with colored folks in Canada. But is it the same? Is it the same thing that's happening now with the Indians, the Asians, the immigrants coming in?
Indian people stink. Indian people have poor hygiene. Indian people are so cheap. Indian people beat their wives. That Indian man only married you for a green card. If you weren't white, your in-laws would treat you like a slave. Why is it every time that I make a post talking about how incredible Indian culture is, or the good experiences that I've had with Indian people, people always have something negative to say? And most of the time, it's stupid stereotypes. Because let me tell you something, my husband is the best smelling man I have ever met in my life.
So what's really happening here? Are Canadians really racist? Do they have a personal vendetta against Indians? Are they using them as a scapegoat? We would love to hear from you in the comments.
Why do they keep reporting like we don't already know? This news story has been headlining for quite some time now. If you live in Toronto, you know how hard it is to find a job. I used to think that because this was such a huge news story, that they were going to take the necessary steps to help combat the fact that a lot of people don't have jobs. But they just re-released the same news story with different statistical information about how many more people no longer have jobs. And most people in Toronto who have jobs are still because they're not making enough. Even if they are living with a partner and come from a dual income household, they still are not comfortably being able to cover rent and food and bills and other, expenses. Don't even get me started on people who have kids or even pets for that matter. At the end of the day, this problem stems from the fact that there is a lot of people in this city and not enough accommodations. And then people have the audacity to call people on EI lazy. Like, really?
A man in Ontario caught a racist incident on video outside of Tim Hortons, and he had the best response.
The fact is that they're all Indians.
Stop being racist.
Why did they all get jobs? And why did they?
Because you guys don't work. That's why we get the jobs.
What?
The original video has amassed over 400,000 views online, with many people praising the man for standing up to the woman.
But are the immigrants to blame? Or should we be blaming the Canadian government? We would love to hear from you. Leave your opinions in the comments below. Is it the government's fault, the immigrants' fault, or something entirely different? Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.